is Trump, and I'm thinking about this in a hopeful manner, is Trump and his insane activities, his I don't know, just insane. We'll leave it at insane. Is it helping to undermine capitalism so that we can actually move to a system that works for people if we can survive Trump?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think the way I would answer that kind of almost changes from day to day. One looks at his crazy tariff initiatives, which are not necessarily, supported by the capitalist class, and you think, isn't he going to lose his base with these tariffs when prices go up and um, businesses have to close? And how are the major capitalists going to deal with the tanking stock market? How long can they deal with that? So perhaps that is going to um, produce some cracks in the wall that then can be exploited, and openings for people to to take this crazy situation on a little more.
I did not vote for Trump. I couldn't vote for Harris either because of her, uh, stance on, genocide is not that bad, and just the
Hmm.
whole Democratic Party's uh, bankrupt way of dealing with Biden's, uh, transitioning from Biden, and nobody ever got to vote for anybody, and I just thought it was as much the Democratic Party's doings as the MAGA forces that gave us Trump. But
Yeah. And I think back to your point about the Democratic Party. I think part of the problem that we face now is that the Democratic Party is just so bereft of ideas, solutions, um, anything. There's no real leader who stands out, who's standing up to Trump. Or people like Cory Booker, who then turn around and votes for aid to Israel. Um,
yeah,
that's about the best that there is. So I think that's a real problem. And I think what back to your question about organizing and what to do about these kind of fragmented protests. I mean, I think one of the things that people have to understand is that the Democratic Party is not going to save them, and that it's really important to build organizations, structures, relationships that can push back about what's going on, that are not going to then be um, channeled into the Democratic Party, that remains, independent, and then can build power that way and push both Republicans and Democrats.
Yeah, I know. Just right in line with that, Bernie had another rally with AOC, and
Hmm.
great, 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 great. But AOC and Bernie list, and they've been doing this for decades. At least Bernie has all the problems. But come on, Bernie, give me a real step by step on how to get to a solution. All right,
Right.
we need health care for everybody, and Medicare for all would be the example. But okay, Bernie, how do you get there? Tell us. Tell if you're going to be the gray master, the leader, then tell us how you get there. And
Right.
you know,
Yeah, I agree. And I think, I mean, I what Bernie and AOC are doing is wonderful, and I hope they keep doing it. But neither one of them are building organizational structures that can can exist without them, that are independent and bring people together and so forth. They're going out and giving these rallies, and that's great. But afterwards, then what?
Exactly.